So welcome back to part 2 with Adam Brown, and I'm afraid it's been a bit of an accident. Adam, I appreciate you coming back on, but what's happened, lad?
Guys, I went for a wee
What? You went for a wee?
in the break, in the adverts. I went for a break. Remember that as a kid, you used to have to, sorry. I went for a wee, and then I seen new like punch bag and that in there. I thought, oh, I'd have a go with that. Punched it, no, me wrist nearly snapped. But Craig said it's full of water.
So he's punched an aqua bag, and the aqua bag is obviously full of water, and he didn't have any wraps on or nothing like that. So he walked in, and he went, "I've just punched that bag."
Oh,
And then we've administered first aid for his arm and his wrist, and in the process,
and my mental health.
and his mental health, we put a bandage on just to make sure that we've covered all bases in case he.
Make sure my Botox didn't move.
So yeah, we're back for part 2, but obviously there's been some injuries in the process.
And Adam's just going to do dead quick costume change. 3, a 2,
Oh.
a 1.
Oh, he's back.
Do that on TikTok. Little transition.
He's back. He got a little dent, but not the major.
My Botox will have moved. Guys, I pay good money for this, you know.
Just be naturally good looking like
Is
me.
that in the background now?
I don't know.
Should I move that? It's organic, leave it.
Take your phone off the table and turn it off. Though. God,
That's not organic. So, come on.
where was we up to?
Hit me with
So
your
we was-
best
so-
shot. Oh, yeah. Fire away.
So we was finishing off where we were speaking
Can't
about
remember.
you, basically what you've done. Right there. Swallow it.
The thing is with me, you know, once I put a drink in my mouth and I laugh, it's coming out.
It's coming out, and there's a lot of expensive equipment.
It will be nose, it will be everything. So maybe
Um,
for famines, I won't drink.
We were saying like what you've done before your dance school. So travel the world, like literally
Okay,
travel the world,
sit back,
um,
get comfy, and I'll shout again.
and then because obviously where we've always said is that where you've come from to then even be in that opportunity, never mind get the job and then go around the world, like that's a massive significant thing, and you did that when you was a baby.
Absolute child.
Scousers say baby when you're like 19, so was you younger than or older than that? You speak about what you've done up until opening the school, because you've done loads of amazing things.
So
Inspirational, really. That's why we're doing it.
I'm an inspiration. Messing. No, so basically, I went to dance college, left school, and I couldn't wait to leave school. Left school, auditioned, got into college. The first year, I didn't get a scholarship. Halfway through, actually, and then they wanted me to go full time. Couldn't obviously afford it because back then dance colleges didn't do like BTEC courses and stuff like that. What everywhere does now, it was literally private. You literally had to pay, like it was like something ridiculous. Well, it wasn't ridiculous for the amount of training that I got, but it was like $8,000 a term. So like, what is it, like 4 terms in a year? So like,
It was a lot of money.
a lot of,
I
and
remember
it's
my mum
still a lot now.
I remember my mum and dad like really like struggling and having a bicker, let's call it, about paying for it. And I think back then I was a bit like, why is he getting it? And I'm sitting here with fucking shit boots.
And the thing is,
Footy boots, that is.
when I forgot to mention, I started dancing at 3 because obviously our sister Heather went, and obviously everything she done, I was like, I want to do that. Like if she went to park in a pair of high heels, I'm going to park in a pair of high heels. Everything what she would do, I'd be like, I am going to do it.
To the point where Heather tried to run out the house and
With her mates.
with her mates, and Adam would like run behind going, Heather, you forgot me.
Yeah, like I was one of them little freaky kids.
You did love her. Yeah.
So yeah, so basically I started dancing because of Heather, and then Heather went to dance college, and then it got to the point where Heather had to pay her own fees, so she was working, wasn't she? Like an arm and a leg, like she was
McDonald's,
constantly working,
constantly there, wasn't she, for ages?
and like she'd finish college, then she'd go to work, and she'd go to work, come home, sleep, go to college. It was one of them things. But back onto me, because obviously it's about me. But you know, shout out to Heather.
HB.
So basically, I left school, went to dance college, was there for three years, and I think in second year I had a wobble to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this. Do you know where you get to like I don't know what it was.
I think I remember you saying, I'm not going. I don't want to go. And then my mum was like, the way she is, spent all this money on you and you're not going.
Yeah.
Because
when the thing is, she didn't pay. I was on a scholarship. But like I think maybe everyone goes through a bit of a situation where you're halfway through it, and it's kind of I don't want to say boredom, because I don't want to disrespect them, because they did give me a scholarship to go there, but like I think you get so easy and comfortable within your situation. It's not maybe until it's took away from you you really respect it and go, oh wow, I really did have it good. But then obviously I graduated and stuff like that. But when I was only speaking about this yesterday, because obviously kids in my school have now gone to colleges. Harley was talking to the kids. Harley's my best friend who also works in my school. She was talking about like us. We were having a show week in college, and we left rehearsals to go to an audition in Manchester. When if someone did that to me now, wow, I would hit the roof. I'd be thinking, what? Do you think you are better than this whole show? But obviously I did, because I thought it was the shit.
King Dingaling.
So me and two of our friends went, and like we got a call back and stuff like that. And then the callback was, I think we went the week before the show, and then the callback was the week of the show. So then we had to tell our principal at the time, because we said we were sick. That's why we were all off all on the same day, but then all came back in the next day, all bright and breezy.
Yeah,
all made up, because we got a call back in our first audition. And then I told her, I was like, hi, I said I've been to an audition over the weekend. Big lie. I've got a call back, and she was like, so Adam, you either basically you choose the show or you choose the job. I was like, and at first I was like, well, obviously I'm going to fully be professional and choose the job. So basically I went to the job.
Yeah. Did you get the job?
And no, I got on the books. It was for, can't remember what cruise ship it was for now, but we got on the books, and then we came from, I remember it so well, I was shit scared walking into the dress run, because I think all the teachers knew. So like we went to the audition, got on the books, and then went straight to rehearsals for the show. And so that was that. So then that was one of the things that I got up to. And then I left college. No, I didn't. I auditioned in the July, got my contract for my first cruise ship in the November, signed my contract, got my flight, and then left in the Feb. I left on Valentine's Day in 2013. I remember it.
How old were you then?
I was just turned 19 in the November.
Well, where did you go on that cruise ship? Because I remember was you away for 6 months or 12 months on that one? 9 months.
It was a lot.
It felt like, I think, because obviously I was around Liverpool a lot then, wasn't I? Doing bits and bobs.
You were doing PT at the time. I remember it.
And then what's it called? It felt like you were gone for ages.
It felt like,
I think you haven't been anywhere away from home for 2 weeks. Never mind, fucking 9 months.
So basically, I got the contract, and it was everyone in my year was like, I'm going to do cruise, I'm going to do. So it was like, kind of like all the teachers would say, like, on cruise ships, this is how it works. So it was kind of drilled into us and not brainwashed, because I did want to do it, but it was kind of like forced upon you to this is your job, or if you're aiming for this is what it will be. So then when it actually became real, I was like, I think it didn't actually hit me until I started rehearsals. I was
As
like,
in what way?
as in, oh shit, this is a job.
Yeah.
People are expecting me to do well now. This isn't a class where at the end of the class, Adam,
You can fuck about and
well
go
done.
wherever.
You did a good job there. Now you can go and have KFC with Hall. Like
Yeah.
this was.
You're getting paid to act to be a certain profession, to entertain these people who spend thousands of pounds on this luxury
100%.
cruise ship. You have to grow up from being, how old is you? 19?
I was 19, but a real baby 19.
Yeah, you are. You remember? Like, how old are you now?
29.
You're 29 and you're not a mature 29 because you're so playful and all the rest of it.
Mhm.
So being a 19-year-old, you put the fucking had to grow up pretty quick within that first week of auditions and all the rest of it. Or not auditions, but training to understand the choreographing and all the rest of it. Within a week, you can't go from, don't get me wrong, you probably still played about on the cruise ship and had fun and all the rest of it.
I ran that ship.
But from a professional standpoint, from being in training all your life and in the college all your life, you have to grow up pretty quick in that week or 2 weeks of preparation to go onto the cruise ship and perform.
The thing is, I met the cast, well, half of the cast. We flew to Genoa in Italy, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to live in Italy, blah, 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 thinking I was the shit. I was. And got off the flight, blah, 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 was in this bus driving in this town, and I was like, what the hell is it? Still didn't hit me. Got in the hotel, we were talking, la ha ha, having a joke, blah blah blah. Went and had food. I was like, this food's a mess because I'm used to nuggets. All this pea and ham soup.
You are fussy eater though, especially back then. We spoke about the Subway with different cheese on before. So
fussy.
So going to Italy with a new culture and a new
they have
food on offer and all the rest of it.
Pasta as a starter, and it like they just used to bring this this bowl, and a bowl, like a washing up bowl that big, full of pea and ham soup with just bread all around it, but the bread was like rock hot, and I'd be like, can I not like order something?
Can I have some chicken nuggies?
Like, can we not order our food? Well, no, you're working for a company now, mate. Like, you get
This is the food that you
get what you're given. And I think back then, obviously, it was 10 years ago since I 10 years in February. That's when it will be.
Yeah,
that is insane to think about that. Obviously things have changed now, but yeah. So it still didn't hit me then. And it wasn't until like the end of the first day, and the choreographer hated me, and I mean, she couldn't stand me. And
why?
I think she trained in Merseyside with me.
Oh.
Not with me, but like she trained the same school as me.
Yeah.
So I think she already had a preconceived thing of like to be like, I don't know what she thought. I still don't know what she thinks now because she hated me.
If you do know Adam and you're this woman, message or comment, say,
actually,
you was a knobhead. You was a knobhead. I didn't like you because you stuck up your own ass.
No, but the thing was, I think because, again, I was young, I was maybe messing around in rehearsals and talking and laughing and thinking about my outfits. And
think of this now. Like, imagine as a young dancer coming into one of your productions, or a young person coming through, because we're going to be employing young people soon, part of the youth provision program, education, employment opportunities. We're so regimented in how we deliver our projects, and so regimented, probably more regimented than that woman whatever her job was. She's doing it for a company. We are doing it. Oh, bloody hell! We are doing it for our own company, and we understand the impact it has on Joe Bloggs and Becky and Jennifer, either that be from a feeling of watching a production or actually making someone's life better from either preventing suicide or whatever. So if some kid comes in and starts fucking about, you won't tolerate it. So I know what you were like when you were 18. You're like, do you know what I mean?
I was just
You would have been everywhere.
I was picking up all kinds of like costumes and feathers and spinning it around. Like, I think now I see why. Like, she couldn't stand me. But basically, it
But
wasn't.
you have that effect on everyone when they first meet you, to be honest.
Oh well, love me or hate me, it's Meg.
Yeah,
I'm real.
I've got that opinion about myself as well.
But basically, it wasn't until the first night I got to the hotel. I was like, I forgot every routine I've learned today. What am I meant to do in the morning? And rehearsal started. The first day was like 9. She was like, okay, I expect you in at 7:30 to warm up, and rehearsals will start at 8 with a full show run. I was like, a full show run at 8? Oh, I'm gonna be drained. But Adam, you're working now.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
You get a wage at the end of this week. This isn't classes. So basically, did the rehearsals for 6 weeks. She hates me for 6 weeks. She couldn't stand me for 6 weeks. And that, to me, I do have a problem with, kind of like, I don't like it when people don't like me, even though I think that comes from maybe like a job thing of like, it's drilled in me to be like, if you don't get the job, then you wasn't good enough. So I can't, that kind of plays on my mind a bit to be like,
that's ultimately self-doubt, isn't it?
So I think that comes from that place. So I was like that for 6 weeks. Hi, Miss. Even though she wasn't my teacher, I was like trying to be like.
I think that's just trying to be fitting in on some level from a social element. No one likes not to be fitting in or be part of a team, even if you was part of a team, but you're not part of the team if she didn't like you. But then talking about, you touched upon it then, self-doubt. Like, if you know Adam now, and some people probably watching this haven't got a clue who Adam is, either that be a member or one of our partners or whoever.
And if you don't know me, you're living under a rock. Move your pebble, bitch. What are you messing? I'm a real nice person.
But if you don't know him, ignore what he's being aggressive about. Is that you would presume
aggressive? You ain't seen nothing.
You would presume. You would presume.
Sorry,
very
love.
Confident, very eccentric. Nothing's going to phase Adam. Happy-go-lucky person. But even that was 10 years ago. But I think even now you still have a level of self-doubt, because we're human beings. We all have self-doubt to a degree.
And nobody sees it.
No one sees that. But then knowing that 10 years ago on a first cruise ship where you were like, and then this person has been a bit like rejecting of you, it would have been like, that would have been really like crippling for you.
But I never showed it.
No.
And I think if maybe I would have showed it, she would have been like, oh, okay, he's like a
that's a self-defense thing, isn't it?
A normal lad.
That's a self-defense thing, because you don't want to be seen as a weakness. I think that's a Scouse culture. Even if you are weak or you are struggling, or you're struggling for money, you still go and buy a pair of fucking filling pieces the next day. Do you know what I mean? Got 500 quid webs on. You know what? Yeah, Sam just bought £500 webs,
but
or
I need
got Botox or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
For the lecky, that type of thing.
It's true though, isn't it? Like you try as a human being or as a Scouser, you do everything to like, I'm fine. You know, look at me, I'm doing well. But that's just because you don't want to be seen as the weak person in the litter when you're doing that job.
Yeah.
Because then you're probably thinking deep down, if I don't do this, then I will see as that I can't do the job. And then that's going in your brain. Well, if I can't do the job, then I can't do this, the show. Then I can't do the show. Then I'll lose my job. Do you know what I mean?
If I can't do the show, will the dancers hate me? Blah, blah, blah.
And I'm the odd one out that I'm fucking struggling. Blah, 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 blah. But again, we talk about resilience already in the first part, but the second part, that 6 weeks has probably built you to open up your own dance school.
Oh, it didn't.
No, it's helped.
I wanted to go home.
No, but you didn't.
Thinking, I can't do
that's
this.
the point. You didn't.
Yeah.
And you stayed there, and you was like as much as it was fucking horrible, and you hated it, and you felt like, oh my God, again, maybe homesick or not, then you getting through that 6 weeks, and then another 7 and a bit months doing that particular first contract on that cruise ship. Anything else that comes after that, well, I've got experience of surviving those 6 weeks.
So true.
So then I've got experience surviving those 7.5 months. So if I can survive that, then open up my own dance school with zero capital and build it from the ground up with literally some mats that you jump on, and then if you haven't looked at Adam's Dance School, have a look at Adam's Dance School, Adam Brown Dance Company. It's a massive identity now. It's not a small thing. You're at the point where you really, in the next 12 months, you're going to outgrow it. So that resilience element was built in probably a lot before the 6 weeks of that woman disliking you. But it's
do you know what?
What?
I feel bad on her because she's much like, do you know what? I really did like him. But I don't think she did. I think she couldn't bear me.
But regardless of what she did or she didn't, she might have had that personality, but that would have built some character where some people would crumble. I'm like, oh, no, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. Yeah. And that's not to say that these people are bad in any way, but it shows the level of, no, I will fucking do it. And someone says you can't do something, like, watch me, hun. Watch me, hun.
And when we got on the ship, like, I think it still didn't click about, I was about to dance on a cruise ship. It wasn't until we was with the big boss, like the big boss came on board on our first day on embarkation day. I still laugh now because I think, Adam, you absolute tit. But
I don't know this story.
The choreographer is meant to come on board and set up your shows with you, but because a new cast was coming to the rehearsal space, she had to stay and build their show up. So the big casting director, her name was Karen, she came on board with us. Everyone was like, Karen is coming. We are going to have a hell 2 weeks. So that got drilled into us. All other dancers who had done ships before was like, oh my God, no, Adam, she is so strict, blah, blah, blah. You can't go out at night, this and that. So when she came on board, everyone had told me this person. So me as the scouser, I was like, hi, Casa love. Thinking now, I think, Adam, she was the boss. She employed you. She was like this high up in a multi-billion-pound company.
And you're like, babe.
And I called her Casa. And I think to myself now, what the hell? And so, but I think because everyone tiptoed around her, and
she warmed to you.
I was this fresh-faced, young little shit,
positive energy individual
who called her Casa. We just laughed and we spoke, and even the dance captain, she'd be so strict with the dance captain, but would say to me, "Oh, Adam, babe, just make sure in that routine, make sure you pull a bit to the left." And the dance captain would say, "Yeah, Adam, and make sure that." And she'd be like, "Okay, I'll sort that." Like,
yeah.
And then it wasn't until the ship actually moved and she was there, and I think the first our initial bonding thing was me to be me. I went, oh, fucking hell, it's moving. How can I fucking dance on this? Making a big scene out of it. And she went, because I didn't know she was standing there.
You are on a fucking boat.
I didn't know it was her at the time. So then she laughs, and then I went, who's that woman? And then everyone was like,
yeah, she's the director of everything,
that's
basically.
The casting director. And I went,
hi, Kaz.
I was like, hi, Karen. Like, thinking, I've just made a show of myself. I've just swore. I've just about fell over on the stage, and we aren't even out at sea. We were
like literally getting off,
pulling away from the berth.
But then again, I think that's a good testament for anybody who's watching. Either that be starting off in a company, or starting off in a dancing company, or starting off anywhere. And this is dead cliche. But if you're not yourself, you're being someone else, and you can't sustain that character for long. So then that's when you probably build that relationship with that woman. She's like, he's just being dead organic. He's just being dead genuine. And I think when I first started this company, I was trying to play a character a little bit. And I used to go to meetings in suits. And I used to go to...
I don't even own a suit.
I don't own a suit anymore.
I would do, actually. I've got FitPro soon.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be some sort of rude joke.
What the hell?
I don't know. Special suit.
My birthday suit.
Baby. Yeah, so I when I started the company, I was doing like meetings in suits and stuff. Now you don't see me. I don't even wear pants. I wear shorts everywhere I go. Like I don't go to meetings in shorts with real clinical people from a mental health perspective that lead on strategies and agendas to improve not just like locally in Blaken, but the Northwest, beyond the Northwest. The North, for example, is in a meeting with the NHS and a few other partnerships around improving physical and mental health, and I'm sitting there in a hoodie because I know who I am, and it takes time to find that.
Yeah.
But even at a young age, yes, you were nervous and you were doing X, Y, and Z, and you just didn't know where you fitted in, I guess. But when you felt a threat to a degree, you was like, "Why, babe?" Like, you was organically you, and that served you well because the dance captain was a prick or whatever.
I'm gassing everyone out today on like this person.
We'll get loads of comments going, Adam, we thought you liked us and all the rest of it on it.
Oh no, they never didn't.
No.
I made it well aware.
So how many more cruise ship tour / contracts did you do afterwards? So
basically, I worked for Costa for 9 months, and they offered me a ship at the end of that contract. And I think after 9 months for the first contract, I was like, I need a break. Like, and it's so like cringy to say, but I feel like, actually, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I was like, no, I'm done. Like, I really, really need time to just be me and just
chill,
just be funny again. I kind of like lost, like, remember on that ship I got so big in the gym, like everyone was like, Adam, is that even you? But because it got to the point where I didn't have nothing else to do, we'd been to all the ports for like the last
rotating in and
the last 3 months. I was like, I've been there, I've been to that cafe, I've done that, I've done it all. I'm bored now. So then I'd literally live in the gym now. You couldn't get me to live in the gym. I do enjoy it, don't I, sometimes, but
you dip your toe.
So then I'd done that trip, and then I had a break, went home. In between all my jobs, I've taught classes and stuff like that. And then I worked for Princess Cruises for 2 different contracts. I sailed around Asia, so like Japan. I
remember going to Japan, and I couldn't compute it in my brain. I was like, somebody I know is going to Japan.
I loved it.
To work, either that be on the cruise ship or like disembarking people and all the rest. And I still think to this day, I'm like, I know someone who's gone to Japan and worked. Like, that's just from where we come from. I can't, it's just mad, isn't it?
And I used to walk around and be like, I'm in like Tokyo, but I'm from Chubru. Like, and nobody would really think like that. Only my mad brain would think like that. And then there's like, so yeah, we sailed around like Japan and South Korea and Taiwan and all that stuff. And then on the next contract with Princess, I did the South Pacific. So I done TG and Masawa, or is it, or somewhere like that, and the Maldives and Hawaii and all that mad stuff.
All the places that you always want to go to.
Australia.
Yeah, you went to Australia as well, remember that?
Indonesia and all them places where to go to fly to now is really expensive. And
yeah, you got paid to do these jobs.
That contract I didn't really enjoy because I didn't really enjoy my cast. Again, I'm being nasty,
There's
but
a pattern here.
It's like it's just real, really.
Yeah.
And I've grown as a person. So basically, yeah.
So I only wanted to bring that up because obviously people see dance in school and all the rest of it, but we've touched upon this.
I've done more than that. Do you want me to speak a bit more? So basically, sit back, get comfy, yeah. And then basically after that ship, came home, taught loads, went full time teaching a bit, and then one day I got a phone call and I was like, "Who's this?" And then a principal I was working for at the time was like, "Hi Adam, a job has come through, blah blah blah. It's this, it's this, it's this." They were on Britain's Got Talent. I was like, "Okay." I said, "I'm not going to say get over the phone because this is mad. Like, I need a day or two." So then I was like, "Okay, let's go and have a talk with the man who owns it, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what the situation is." So then basically took the job on board, and I was like, choreographer slash dancer for Boogie Storm, and that's where that came from. And at the time, I was a bit like, oh, like, because the whole situation with a different dance teacher at the time, and I didn't want to backstab them and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I was like, it's a job.
Yeah.
I'm not coming for nobody's gig. It's been offered to me, and I'm going to take it. So then took that on. I was choreographer for Boogie Storm
It was a while, weren't it?
for about, I want to say about 3 years.
Yeah, it felt long. But then again, you went all over the world with them, didn't you?
With them,
like literally
it
everywhere.
was mad. Like I didn't know this until I got involved. But like obviously the 4th of July is Star Wars Day. Like like the 4th be with you or something. It's called something crazy like that. All the Star Wars fans don't come for me. It's May the 4th.
It's 4th of December, you know.
It's the 4th or something. I've just spat. Sorry. So basically, we flew all around Wales, but on the May the 4th,
Not July the 4th.
no, we'd have like 4 different teams out all over the world.
Yeah, I remember.
So like we'd fly.
But then didn't you manage? Not, I don't know if it's the right word, manage. But then
was
you like direct them all and all. Like,
I was a tour manager on 1 or 2 of them, because like the man who owned it would have to go with a different team.
1 or 2 of them.
So like we'd fly to San Francisco, and someone else would fly to Sweden or Switzerland or like in London, and we was basically all over the place. And then I remember saying to the man who owned it, I was like, okay, at the end of this year, I'll step back from being a dancer. I'll still be involved as much as you want me to be, but I want to open my school and blah blah blah. That's my next step. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. So then I opened the school. I was still involved in it, but it was kind of a thing where I was living out of a suitcase, and then like I'd run to the school, and the school was kind of having like a back step in it, because I'd have to try and get teachers to cover me in my school, which I was trying to build. So then it wasn't a representation of myself.
No.
So then, like, I always say it like this when everyone goes, Adam, like, why did you leave? Like, like, it's cringy to say, but this is how I look at it. It was a kind of a thing, like, when girl bands split up, it's kind of like one person wants to go and do their own thing. That's how I look at it. Like, all those, I'm not sure we're still a part of it now, but I knew that I'd come to my time within it, and I wanted to go and do my own thing now, because I seen brands built, and I was like, well, I want my own brand.
Like, I think if you're dipping your toe in the water, only your toe's gonna get wet. If you jump in, all he's gonna get wet, and you're fully committing to it. So then that's how it kind of happened in here. Is that I was working for a job that I fucking hated,
100%.
and it was like, ask Charlotte, it was killing me inside, like just on every measurable way. I just didn't enjoy waking up to go and do that. So then I was kind of doing this, trying to build this company, just doing fitness classes, and the old saying goes, and I'm sure everyone's going to laugh at me when I say this, we started with a skipping rope, because that's what I say, and like,
that's true.
Like, look what we fucking got. Like, we've got a lot more than a skipping rope now. We've got like fucking 25 in there.
We've got a shelf.
We got a shelf, and like I was just doing little bits here and there, and I would come and nobody would be here at like 7 o'clock when I've had to hire the room for £7, and I'd be sitting here going, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, no one's coming to these classes. And then when I left that job, which was on decent money for my age, I was on good money, and Charlotte said to me, why don't you just leave and just fully commit to Rage? And I was like, well, I've got to fucking pay my phone bill. I've got to put petrol in my car.
Yeah.
I've got to do X, Y, and Z. She went, we'll get by. So if it wasn't for Charlotte, and I haven't really said this publicly a lot, really, I think maybe I've said to a few people, if it wasn't for Charlotte, I don't think we would be at where we're at, because she paid for my phone bill. She bought me food, so we could really but she put faith in me. She put her eggs in my basket. It was like, yeah, go ahead, do it. I think she knew I had some capability on some level. So that's when some like people say, why you work as hard. You had to put a post up about Billy the other day, and he is a good anchor. He drives me because you want to provide a life, and I'm sure everyone says this, that we had to want to give that life to Billy, and he's nowhere near that life now. What the house he lives in? Do you know what I mean? There's food in the cupboards. He plays in here. Do you know what I mean? Like he's in a good environment already, or beyond what we brought up in. But like I'm always repaying that debt to Charlotte because if it wasn't for her, then I'll be like still in a job that I fucking hate. But she's like, no, have a go, see what happens,
and push and jump. Yeah.
So then that's why my work ethic is consistently high. I don't need to make this podcast. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to promote it. I don't need to build a business. I don't need to get more members in. But I do because I care about people's well-being. I don't want people to be where I once was, either that be from addiction perspective, poor physical health, poor mental health. And I know what we're capable of doing for those people who don't yet know about us. But then I do it also for Charlotte because she took a gamble ultimately, and we've only known each other for like a year and a half.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I was like, "Do I do it, or do we just fucking carry it?" I think I carried on because I was so nervous of like, as you know, you don't take anything off anyone. Like where we come from, where our work ethic is what gets us by. We don't want to rely on anybody. So as soon as that day, I think it took like 2 more months before I said I'm leaving, basically. And I saved most of that wage. So like when I left, I had some money to like pay bills and that. When I left that company, let's say the Monday morning that I left, I think I worked like 17 hours straight the next day, 17 hours straight the next day, 16 hours straight, doing random meetings with people I didn't even fucking know, just to get them in and try and build brand awareness of fitness classes. That was the only thing that we did. Fitness classes is what we did. In the space of like 2 weeks, we had like fucking 40 people in a class. And it was just little simple things. So then you saying that you was in doing Boogie Storm, yeah, it's amazing. Look what you're a part of. But is it a true calling to yourself?
Like, it was, don't get me wrong, loved it. But it wasn't mine. And I knew that at the end of the day, it was kind of a thing where if I don't leave now, then I won't leave and I'll stay, and then my school won't be a school. It'll
never be a school, will it?
It will be a club. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and that's what it was.
After school club.
Look, that's what it was. You was in Holly Lodge, and I remember having this conversation with you. I remember it is. I don't have a good memory, but I remember this conversation. I think you was upset or something happened about your speaker. Because you left your speaker in the cupboard.
Someone broke my speaker.
And it sounds dead simple, but a speaker is your life.
But the thing is, back then I didn't have money.
So like having a speaker that's maybe worth £200, and £200 is a lot of money nowadays, to be honest. But when you go in to do one of your classes, and you've got like 5 kids waiting there or 6 kids waiting there, and then you have to press play on your fucking iPhone.
Back then he had about 2.
Oh, he had about 2. And you press play on your iPhone, and the music's just not there, so your brain's not there, and just the feel of the class is shit. And I remember walking in, and I was in Liverpool then. I don't know what I was doing or what. And he was like, "Oh yes, someone's been in here and broke me equipment, or broke the little connector on me thing." And I went, "Just fucking leave then and build your own school." And I think because I'd given you a little, he was like, "Yeah, I can." And that self-belief really started to blossom inside you just because the fucking speaker broke.
No, I always wanted to move from there.
Yeah, I know you did. I'm not saying you didn't, because you did, but I'm saying sometimes you do need that little push, like Charlotte was my push.
And
build the fucking thing.
The reason why it got to the point where I was like, I really need to leave was, remember, because every May and June when schools have GCSEs and A-levels, I was in that hall where they would move me to the main hall, and I couldn't take everything. So then, like 2 months out of every year, I was there for a year and a half. But they would move me loads of times.
I feel like it was more than that though.
I think these had exams at the end of the year as well. So like they'd moved me like 4 months out of the year. I wasn't able to run as I would run.
Yeah, because you only could only take so much stuff over to that side. Because
like,
there's a bit of a walk, weren't it?
I weren't allowed half of the stuff. And then like things would get moved because the room that my stuff was stored in wasn't just for me, it was for the drama club. And so all my stuff would get used and not get put back right. And I was thinking, I hate this. And the thing is with me, like, if I put something there and I don't go back, why is it not there?
Regimented.
Like, it really annoys me. So that's when I started to look for this for the school. And when I say I viewed places as big as this table and as big as the Asda, I viewed every size.
Do you remember that one you went to in is it Dovecot? In Dovey?
Did you come with me?
I didn't come with you, but you sent me a link and I went, what are the fucking business rates on that?
Oh my God.
So you can't obviously see the size of this building, but it's a biggish building. I'm sure it was like twice the size of this on 3 floors. And I went, Dad,
it was...
how many kids you taking in? What's the business rate? He went, I don't know, but I want it. And I was like, no,
Right.
Adam, the rent alone would just would kill you within a month.
Like,
it was massive, that.
What I want to say is, no word of a lie, Primark.
It was a Primark.
In Liverpool town centre. It like, when you think about it, like that, like...
It was, yeah.
Like, it took me about an hour and a half to walk around the whole of it when I was in the first view, and I only went to one because then I calculated the rent and all that. But I viewed literally every single place. But the thing is, right, which is really, really mad, and fate, is it fate or faith?
Fate, maybe?
Fate, when things are meant to be. Is that the word? The school that I'm in now, or the building that I'm in now, when I was opening the school, that popped up, but me, I want everything all nice. I went, scroll past it. Because I was like, no, that's disgusting. But then when I wanted something to work and I knew I had the drive inside me, don't care what it looks like.
No.
I'll make it work. But that shows in the year and a half how much my brain had changed to be like, it needs to be perfect. Because I wasn't used to hard work before I opened. Now, I'd been open a year and a half. I know what hard work is. Don't care what it looks like. I'll make it work because I've worked my ass off now.
And you've gone from fucking diddly squid, not a fucking mirror. Not a mirror. And like, I've got mirrors, obviously. So, you know how fucking expensive their mirrors are. And you've got what, 9 or 10 or something on the wall.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So then, when you know that you're capable of building a studio and a school all by yourself, literally by yourself, and you can build a gym by yourself, it didn't look anywhere as like this, and your school didn't. Yeah. Your school never. But then again, doesn't have to be perfect. Just start small and build. Start small and build. Even if that's with wanting to go to a dance class and you're a 7-year-old and you're fucking shit scared. Or you're a 25-year-old man and you want to start doing fitness, but you're so insecure about how you look. Just come to one class and you start building that resilience. If you want to start a business, start a business small.
This is what I do with my kids now. Like, when mums message about like classes, everybody wants everything online and can have prices on a timetable and days and this and that. And I say, pop into the school, because if you really, really want it, you will come in and see me. And then, 1, you can get a feel of the school. You can have a look around if you're anxious before you even start. And 2, you meet me, hi babe, hope you're good, blah, blah, blah. So it becomes 3 things that is already on your mind on your first day is done before your first day.
Yeah, conversion rate's higher.
So they come in and the standard glued to the mum, and I say, hi babe, have you danced before? This and that, blah, 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 blah. And then now, mums might be like, what? But I don't speak with the mums.
Yeah.
I constantly, so have you danced before? And kids go, and I say, have you danced before? And they go, no, or yeah. And or they have kids like, yeah, I can do this. And I think, okay, calm me. Do you know what I mean?
Take a chill pill.
Or like, I get onto that level now with it. And I've learned that over the years, because when I first opened, I was like trying to please everyone. Mums were like, Adam, can I bring the fees in next week? I'd be like, yeah, just make sure you come back next week, because
I need that money to pay me fucking rent.
no, like it would be like I was begging for the people, which everyone is, even if you, I don't know, own a shoe shop or something, come and buy shoes.
Shoe shop.
Um,
But you are though. You try and please every single Tom, Dick, and Harry when you're trying to start up like that, because
oh God,
just
yeah.
once you're in that phase, and I think when success becomes around you, then you kind of like take your foot off the gas a little bit. I don't think either of us have. As in,
I have days where I think, Adam, you could have done more there, and then I have a week of like constant pushing.
yeah,
And then I have a day where, or I think it's maybe things like, and I think this is because I'm on a level with the kids. Like, say we win at a competition and we win 27 cups against amazing schools. I say the next day we're in, when I've got them all in, I buy them all pizza and we chill and we talk and this
pizza.
and this and that. And we should really train. But then I think, no, I'm on a level with them kids. I want them to know, like, I'm proud of them. They've really worked hard. So then we sit and we chill, and then I think, took my foot off the gas a bit there.
I think what you have to remember
But
as well,
the
there's
kids,
also,
at the end of the day,
there's also a balancing act of life. Is that if this has been a big, massive, huge adjustment for me, is that I'm a workaholic to create success for me, whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
People see wealth as success. People see happiness as success. People see a brand as success. I think success to me is everything I mentioned there and more. But to be successful, I believe work ethic can't be overlooked. So then when Billy came along, and I've said this before, and I think Charlotte thinks Billy's the bane of all my problems, but he's not. Billy's the best thing that's in my life. But there was a transitional period where Billy came into our life, and I was like, I can't do all that work or work as hard as I can. So then I have to slow down and let the guys take over a little bit, and let Charlotte take over a little bit, and then bring other people in to develop strategies around certain things. And then since that's happened, slowing down has helped me when I have to speed up and really promote the business and all the rest of it, because you can't always be 100 fucking million miles an hour. And that's coming from me, somebody who gets up early and all the rest of it, and all that bollocks, Mr. Motivator. But if you don't have that balance and you go in, the kids are like, come on, let's fucking do it. The babies, at the end of the day, aren't they? They have to enjoy the successes. To them, winning a cup is amazing. I've been to some of the shows, and I've watched that video when you went to Haven, and all the little faces and all the rest of it. So the downtime is important for either that be a kid trying to win a dancing cup or someone trying to improve how they physically, mentally feel. You can't always be 100% on it. There's a balancing act to it.
And I think as well, because I am on a level with the kids and I laugh with the kids, not a lot of principals do that.
No.
Like, they're seen as, oh, there's the principal up there, like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, kids are like, stay in your lane. Kids are meant to be seen, not heard, shush, blah, blah, blah. Like, I sit on the floor with the kids and they go, well, I'm this boy in school. And then I go, how old are you? I'm 7. I'm in year 2. And I think,
You talking about boys, babe?
I go, love, you've got your whole life ahead. And then I think, Adam, why are you sat on the floor talking about boy problems with a 7-year-old? But then that sees them at that young age. They can come up to me, however old they are.
Speak about anything.
To, like, lots of things have gone on with the school with, like, mums and dads and like some kids who don't have dads around and stuff like that. And they've come up to me and said, Adam, like, I don't feel a bit good today, or just like loads of things. Not that I will get into it because it's not my choice to.
No, it's confidential.
Do you know what I mean? That's
but
the way
it shows that that on a level of trust is that they confide in you. So then you can bring that negative energy out and put in positive energy, because that's what you do ultimately.
And this is what leads back to us before to say, like, we're more than a dance school.
Yeah. And like, that's our
we're not
catchphrase.
your traditional dance
No.
school. Like, I'm not a person who teaches classes and then goes, okay, bye, and then I'm not bothered about them. Like, some kids text me and say, Adam, can I come in straight from school instead of to go home? And I'm like, oh yeah, babe, I'll come in and I'll open the school at 3, and then you can just come in straight from school. And then they go upstairs and they chill. They do make a lot of noise, and I go, guys, shut up. But I would rather than be upstairs screaming, laughing, doing all TikToks than on the streets messing about and you don't know what they're up to.
That shows the safe space element, doesn't it? That people underestimate around everything.
And that is my quotation of why I opened the school. Adam's dream was to always open a safe space for everyone to be whoever they want to be successfully.
Hashtag ABDC. So that kind of leads us on to the next point, is that your upbringing.
Mm-hmm. I really need a way.
You have to hold it.
Oh, dear.
Should have went before.
I've drank loads of water.
Do you want to run for the wee?
Yeah, can we cut there a minute? Is that okay?
Yeah. Go on.
Because that goes through me. One day, got and then, do you know what, I'm gay.
What did he say? What did he say? I don't know.
I said, listen, I'm quick. Said, one day, oh, I'm gay. Screaming. One sec.
Shall we crack on then?
I'm glad I got that yawn now because I wanted to yawn before and I was going.
You have to swallow them, don't you?
I'm not bored. I'm just really tired. I was being burned and work at both hands.
So we're back after our toilet break, and we was going to speak about Adam's upbringing to a degree, but more focused on Adam coming out that he was gay in Liverpool, which is a rough and ready city anyway, and can be quite homophobic on some level.
Quite.
Well,
a lot.
This is why I think it's worth speaking about, because my limited experience is only through your experience and what the limits, the short amount of time we've spoke about it, and it's probably the first proper time we're going to try and speak as much as we can do in the last 10 minutes or so about what was it like identifying that you was gay.
Don't give me 3 questions in one because I will forget them.
No, I'm saying broadly.
Okay.
Broadly, like, what was it like coming to terms with that? Because I don't know what that feels like, especially, as I said, in a Scouse city where it's all about lad, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Then you went to an all-boys school, and I know what the golly pit was like. And second, remember the golly pit is just a disgusting place to be if you was in it. And then, thirdly, like, what was your experience of growing up? Was you subjected to what's the right way of saying it? Homophobia, and any other disrespect towards you from your sexuality growing up in Liverpool? And then how did that affect you physically, mentally, emotionally? And speak about that for the community, I guess.
So basically, everything what you could think of, every word, every emotion, every person in my community has gone through that in some stage. Even if they say, "Oh no, I've never been called that." They have, but they just maybe don't want to admit it because it's kind of a thing of like, again, like we spoke about before, it's kind of like when you're showing your true self, you're showing a weakness of it. So like there'll be times where like, because it was a well spoken about thing within my school, an all boys school, like, oh, do you know that Adam Brown dances? Like, it would go around the school, and it would be mad for a week, and then no one would speak about it, and then it would start again by one person and go, oh yeah, he's a queer, he dances. So then it would be like every so often it would pop up, and then I'd go, at first I'd be like, oh my god, no, they're talking about it again, and then I'd hear about it, or like someone would speak about it at the back of the class and go like, oh yeah, he's a fucking gimp, him, he goes to dance and blah blah blah. Now I think what a fucking thing, but back then I was
everything, though, isn't
in
it?
year 7 and I was like, Oh my god. And all my friends who I went there with, friends who are most probably, I don't know what they're up to now, but like they were all like, I was like, oh yeah, I've got loads of mates who go, who like left year 6 and blah, 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 and we're all in year 7. Basically, nearly every one of them turned against me, and it was kind of a thing where I'm like, okay, so all my mates who I thought was my mates are not my mates. And obviously, you make new mates.
Yeah.
Because I was in all, like, the thick classes. Well, not thick. I'm dyslexic. But, you know, I was in year 5. I mean, yeah, not year 5. I meant set 5.
Set 5.
Oh, thick. So, like, I made all new mates. And it's mad because obviously in like year 7, 8, 9, 10, like maybe even year 11, you don't speak about it. Like you don't go, are you gay? Because I'm gay. Do you know? Like there's no conversation because like you're still young. Like you're still like in like your brain of like you don't even maybe think about stuff like that. And again, years ago, like obviously it was over 10 years ago that I was in school, like year 7. I went to year 7 I left school in 2009. So what year would I have been in year 7? I don't even know. 5 years I was in school. So would it be 2009? I mean, 2005? 2004?
2004?
So imagine it's like, that's nearly 20 years.
It's mad when you think about it, isn't it?
You can see how much the world has been more accepting only in the past 5 years.
If that.
So.
If that.
Yeah, if that. Maybe the past 2 years.
2 years, I would say, from my limited knowledge.
So imagine, not like, do you know what I mean? Like a lot of people have been through this. I'm not the only person, so don't come for me if you're thinking that I'm going on about myself.
But you can only speak about your lived experience though, can't you?
Like 20 years ago, it wasn't 20 years ago, was it? Say 15 years ago, it's not as accepting as it is now. So say if someone goes now, do you dance? Someone would say yeah, but because it's all over TikTok, because it's all over Instagram, because it's a generational switch of, oh, it's fun to dance now because on TikTok you get loads of likes.
Get money for it.
You get loads.
Blah blah
you
blah.
get paid to do a TikTok video. Then what was TikTok? We didn't even have Instagram then. No. Like it was like, what?
What are you dancing for? You weirdo. Oh my god, you dance.
Queer, all that stuff. So then it became a thing of like I kind of maybe hid it for a bit, and then I think it got to like maybe like year 9 or year 10, and I was like, do you know what? I'm not even actually asked about it. And I think when I done work experience in I done work.
You understand why we're laughing about Adam's work experience.
Oh, God bless.
Remember you doing this? Go on.
I done work experience in a horse riding farm, and I loved it. Remember, I loved it. I come home stinking, like. But I think after that, because like I got out of school and met different people, I was kind of like, oh my god, I know what I want to do now. I'm going to be a dancer. Like
that was like you. The realization, like, yeah, that's what I want to do because I don't want to do that. For example, you're using the real world, sampling a real job that people do because you're just working alongside people. And you're like, no, my passion is dancing, and my passion is who I am, rather than hiding who I am and all the rest of that.
And plus, like in school, you get taught like you have to do this because you can't dance for the rest of your life and blah blah blah. And
I remember sorry to interrupt because I have to say this because I would forget. I remember your catchphrase. You used to say this all the time. I don't need mats to dance. Do you remember? I'm not going to mats because I don't need it because I'm going to dance.
Remember Mrs. K? You had her.
Yeah.
And I had her. She was like, Adam, you can't dance forever. Yeah. And me being Mrs. Sassy Pants, I went, Miss, and I only need to count up to the number 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I remember it, and now I think if someone said that to me, I'd slap them.
I'm surprised Mrs. K never just fucking dropped you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Miss K, if you're
Oh,
watching,
she's still alive. Oh,
I hope she is.
God bless her soul.
But basically, back to me, because I'm the star of this show.
Yeah.
So basically, where was I up to?
You saying about like you were going back to school in year 9 and you think that you wasn't afraid to hide it anymore around dancing.
So I did that, went back, and then I kind of was like, no, I know what I want to do now. And then that's when my attendance started to become really, really bad. Remember, I was like off school for like 60% of the year. I refused to go in school. I was like, no, I know what I want to be, blah, blah, blah.
You was bad back then.
Really, really. And I think that was maybe a mix of like, don't want to go to school, can't be bothered with school. I know what I want to do now. And to think I went through like loads of like, you could call it like name calling, bullies, all that stuff. Like you're gay, you're a queer. Why do you dance? That's disgusting. You're so gay. Blah 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 blah. Now I think, wow, I was so fucking headstrong. Because if someone was coming at me like that,
it'd be every angle in school. Never mind, just one person over there saying it. It was every single person in school, probably.
Oh God, yeah. And not even just from my class, like my year or years above or years on to me. Like
St. Eddie's and all the rest of it, do you know what I mean? And like, Carolina and that.
It was a lot. And then like I'd have like maybe like girls who was maybe in my dance school at the time would be cousins with boys in my school. And then like, just like a relation. Oh yeah, you dance with all that shit. But yeah. But so now I think, wow, I was so fucking headstrong at that time. Like the name calling and the shit that like us gay people have to go through, and straight people who jobs on in the stigma of like a woman who drives a bus or something stupid like that. Like it's not obviously just me who's a dancer, but like I was so headstrong at that time.
And you're only like, when you're in school, you're still a baby, aren't you? I remember when I was like,
and I was so young in the head.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're like, you're such an immature person. Never mind to like get all this negativity thrown at you, because then again, being headstrong is one conversation, but the second conversation is you survive that negative loop constantly for 4 years, and it doesn't stop when you finish school. I presume it doesn't stop when you finish school. It'll be persisting all the way through.
It's where you live and stuff like that. And I think now I think of it as like like you say it all the time. Just put your ego down. But the thing is with me, and it's not unless you kind of go through it yourself. Like I've built this like sassy brand. Everything has to be major and in your face, because I've had to build that like wall up of protection. So automatically everyone goes, he's snotty, he's got an ego. No, I don't. Before I allow you in, I've got that wall up. Or I'm going to give myself my all first. And then if you're going to meet me halfway, then I will go there. But like I've built a brand up, and I've got a whole brand now. And if someone tries to do what I do, they'll be like, well, that's kind of Adam. Yeah. Because it's so built up to the point where all my kids are sassy. Everything's over the top. Everything's major. I never do something what someone has done before. Or if I do, I twist it on its head and turn it inside out and make it me. So I've built a brand up of an ego that I have had to build in the generation I grew up in.
And I don't think it's necessarily an ego thing. I think it's you've thrived and survived something I've never experienced. Probably something Jordan's ever experienced. Maybe 70% of the people who watch and listen to this podcast have never experienced. So we can go, oh yeah.
And nod and agree.
But we can nod and agree, and we can have some level of empathy towards whatever that emotion is. But for me, I get anger thinking of people doing that to you. But then at the same time, I'm proud of you that you've gone through that and thrived, and look at your company based on what you've done to protect yourself and go, yeah, I'm Mrs. K, I will dance forever. And even when my mum said it, even when my mum says like, no, I didn't have to go to school. This, no, Julie, I'm not going to school because I'm going to be a dancer. And then you've stuck to that. and then you're an inspiration to your kids, obviously, who come in and watch you teach, and then your YouTube channel and all the rest of it. It's that it could be seen as ego, but it's also, this is who I fucking am. So if you want
and this is what I've had to be
to survive,
to get to where I am now. So like it's not like I think I'm this, I think I'm that. It's who I am, of what I've had to get through to be this way in clan.
and when you see that success and you know it works, just keep repeating that, because you've grown to be a man that is successful within Liverpool scene and beyond that. So internationally, obviously you've been everywhere. Then you go outside of Liverpool, outside the Northwest. I've drove you around enough times on your workshops going, Craig, do you want to go to Scarborough? No, I don't want to go to Scarborough. It's fucking 4 hours away. But we go and we...
Oh, but he goes and he loves it.
Yeah, sell the merchandise. I love it. But then that ego or that stepping stone of success has led you to new cities and towns to do your workshops and just be authentically you. And then if that's not a powerful message for young people who are struggling to come to realization of identifying of what they are or what they are not, or have the confidence to go, I don't know who I am now, but I will know in fucking 6 months or 12 months or whatever.
And plus, it's like, I think a lot of people see a lot of gays who go, oh my God, they're so over the top, and like, I think a lot of people see that as every gay person is like that, and not every gay man or woman or transgender is like that. But I feel myself is, I think because we hide ourselves for so long, then when we feel confident enough to come out, we're like, because you've hid it for so long, it's like, woof.
Yeah, you're giving it your all.
This is me. I can be myself. Ba-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or the people who aren't like that, maybe they've not had to hide themselves for so long because they were strong enough to be whoever they wanted to be in the instant that they knew or kind of felt it. So I feel like that is the stigma around it. Like, oh, the gays are dead loud and screamy and all dead queeny and this and that. Like, yeah, they are, but they've had to go through a lot of dark times and a lot of times by themselves to be like, they couldn't even speak at points. Because if they spoke out, shut up, you're the fucking queer. Like,
yeah.
And nobody knows that until like they sit there and go, okay, yeah, they've actually had to shut up for a really long time.
And I think that that overflows into my line of work, and we've got our membership and a few other things that we're doing with different partners is supporting that community now, and I've learned a lot in the last 12 months. And I understand. And
I still have to educate myself on it, and I'm a part of it, because everything is always growing all the time. So,
from an accessibility perspective to attend a well-being facility, you've got a barrier straight away because you walk in and go, well, no one's going to be in there looking like me or acts like me. So accessibility is a big thing for this community. Secondly, they're trying to hide, most people, so they're isolating themselves. The biggest risk to mental health and the exacerbator of suicide is isolation. It's the biggest thing. So then they talk about suicide is that they just can't fucking cope. Like, I don't know the statistics off the top of my head. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But statistically, based on what we're doing around this community, is that it doesn't take a rocket science to see through the struggle. And someone going, and then comes over there, and if you're not strong enough, you're strong enough. You've clearly, in year 9, strong enough to go back and say, yeah, I had to do dancing. And everything else that followed after that, you are a strong individual. Where some people aren't as strong and haven't survived, and you haven't thrived. Where,
yeah, it's true.
Not that you're one of the lucky ones, but on some level, you've got the capacity to go, fuck off, I'm not asked about what you think. Where some people can't even put their hand up. Do you know what I mean? So I think you should speak about it more from a. I don't think you do speak about enough but not enough about you. About like, this is what I've done. And I think this is hopefully a starting point of you doing it more often. So then young people, young lads, young girls, older people who haven't got that strength to come out because now they might be in a relationship or they're in a certain environment that they can't come out. I think this will hopefully be, some people will watch and go, okay, I've been educated a little bit about that. Or if Adam can do it, I can do it. If Craig can improve and look what he's built, then I can do it. So that's why I thought it'd be good speaking about that. Have you got anything else to add around this particular topic? I think it'd be maybe worthwhile speaking about something a little.
I always say, don't be someone else because there's already someone else. There's no one like you. So like I say because there could be kids in my school who aren't comfortable enough yet. So I say to them like never ever doubt yourself because everyone sometimes in the room doubt you if it's in an audition space. I try and speak on that term of it, but then they could take it in a different way. But like never lose yourself, because I don't think, like there's been times where, oh my God, yeah, I have lost myself and I've gone like, oh my God, I'm on the ship in the middle of this ocean, blah, 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 blah. But like, I don't think I ever really, really lost myself, because I don't think I would have the brand and everything what I have now, because I wouldn't have had the strength to keep on going.
I think sometimes you have to lose yourself to find yourself. To
find yourself, yeah.
It's like cliche saying it,
you have to take the goods with the bads.
Yeah, and I think the bad is being discriminated against, called names, but then that builds that strength. You're like, fuck off, I'm doing it anyway. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be here doing what I do.
I just had a flashback of. Can I speak about having a fight?
Do you want one?
Is that bad though?
Don't know.
Well,
run out of time, like, so maybe.
Well, I'll speak dead fast. Basically, I was walking to school. It was lashing down. I remember.
It feels like this is like a movie scene.
It was like wind and rain. Maze Rail. Sponsor me. So basically, I was walking to school. It was at the top of Minand Road.
Oh yeah.
And I remember this lad. He was either in like, remember when it was West and Derby?
Yeah.
And the forms wouldn't mix.
Yeah.
And he was in the other side, and he walked past and he was with his mate or something, and he said something. I don't know, much like, you fucking little queer. And at this day, I don't know why, but I was with all my mates who are now gay also.
Yeah.
No one spoke about it, but it's like all the gays just went
merged together. Safety in numbers, isn't it?
It's like, but we didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
And then now we're all older, like, oh yeah, he's full gay as well. Yes for him. So basically, one day I thought, who are you talking to, you absolute ming? I will knock you clean out. At the time, I was really shitting myself, thinking I'm going to get knocked out before school. But I thought, no, don't take the piss out of me and think you're all hard in front of your mate, because I don't care if you're straight or gay. I don't care. I'll have a fight, and and I think that's because how, like, where we lived and what you had to go through, and to protect yourself, you have to speak up. Like you have to maybe have an argument to. We
don't come from the countryside. Not say that the countryside are weak, but we don't come from a.
Do you know what I mean?
A soft environment.
From a built up town to be like, you're not respected if you don't speak up.
And you don't protect yourself, you'd be seen as weak.
Mm-hmm. So it was this kid was like, you queer or whatever he said. Oh, you're gay and all that. And I just turned around and went, what have you just said? Or something. And he said it again. And I walked over and went, boom. I went, say it again. And then he said it. I don't know what to come over me. I grabbed him. I threw him on.
Oh, your microphone. What, lad? Fucking kill you.
Meatball Molly.
Yes.
And basically threw him on the floor. No, I got on top of him. And I was like that on the neck. I went, say it again. I think that day had enough.
You got overflowed with the amount of shit.
The kid was on the floor, he's same age as me, and was going. But I think because I just was like so. Maybe that week I just had enough.
Too much shit going on.
And he was one of the last person who said.
I think the last story I want to finish with you because I think you know what one I'm going to say. When we went in Costa in Christmas in Aintree.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
So I'm going to go.
I'll get to that now. But then
I want to say that story.
Yeah, I know.
Great.
But I turned round and then I just got up off the floor and I walked away and I was like, and my mate was like, I don't, like what? I went. And I remember not speaking. They were walking behind me, and I just walked straight into form.
That's just the surge of energy come out of you.
And I sat there, and I was like that. And I remember, but do you remember when you used to pick your options in school?
Yeah.
Then they used to mix West and
Yeah.
Derby. He was in one of my classes. He was in my art
But he
class.
never fucked you though, did he?
He stayed over there, didn't speak for the next 2 years. He didn't say a word, didn't say absolutely none.
Bullies get bullied.
I'm not a fighter, but I think that day I was like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And
you found you in the fight, though.
You absolutely got it.
You found you in the fight.
Now I think, who did I think I was? But I got on top of him, and that's his neck. I was going, say it again. And now I'm thinking, Adam, you can't do it. But then I thought,
you're not exposed to that type of stuff now, though, are you? Like
Yeah,
back
so-
then, you was like, it was probably every day, some little shit just fucking piss you off. It's like, right, that's enough.
and he had that spike here and all that. I thought, don't come for me.
Where was he from? He had spiky hair.
Don't know.
So anyway, I want to tell you this last story, and then we'll finish because it's a fucking good one. And if
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
forgot which
So
one.
Adam is flamboyant, and he can be seen as like, oh, it's only Adam. But this story sums up Adam far greater than I
And
could ever
I
imagine.
really love fashion. Like, obviously not today, guys, but
But
I am fashion.
you are quite fashionable. So we went in Costa.
Quite.
Kind of. So we went in Costa.
Kind of.
Let me finish the story.
Just give me props. I'm good at fashion.
It's good at fashion. So then we went into Costa at Christmas. Was it Aintree we went in?
Yeah.
In Aintree. Our Heather walked in first, my sister, and then Adam walked in second, and Adam's in a bright burgundy velour trackie, aren't you?
How can burgundy be bright?
Well, it felt bright, with all the shiny bit on it.
It had a zip across there.
Yeah, it was full on out there.
It
And
was from Boohoo. I loved it.
Not that that's, being out there is not a good thing, because I love Adam the way he dresses. I think he's hilarious. But
It's not funny. It's fashion.
I'm not fashionable, am I?
Yeah, you can say that again.
I'm all in black constantly. So then we walked in.
Hoodie.
Heather, my sister, then Adam in this spectacular velour trackie, wasn't it? And then I was behind him. Being Scouse, you pick up on little cues,
Yeah.
don't you? Like, you're always on fucking standby,
If
ready to fucking
someone's
go. Like, you're always ready.
If I see a person go and move and
You'd ride on it.
and whisper now, I go, and I just stare at them like,
So then
Go on,
we
whisper.
walked in, and there was these like 4 plazzy drug dealers basically did all thinking about going, yeah, lad, fuck
no,
him,
I'm
bad
sure
man."
they were wahies.
No, he wasn't.
I'm sure.
No, he was.
One had a
He
high
was.
vis
Yeah,
or
one had
something.
high vis on, but you're all acting a certain way, wasn't
Yeah.
he? He's all on these
Thinking
2
all out.
couches, and
Little
the
gimps.
Costa was fucking heaving, wasn't it? It's Christmas on a retail park. It's heaving. Walked in, I clocked and looked at
I
Adam.
want to die.
I clocked looking at Adam, and I went. And before I could say anything, because I went to, I was like that. Adam went, "Hey, who are you talking to?" Like that, and the lads went, "What?" And I looked at Adam, and Adam was like, ready.
But I went off.
Yeah,
I
and it was
was
heaving.
shouting over the in the car.
Costa was booming.
Oh,
So must be one of them
I'm
days
so
again.
sorry, all them people.
So then Adam, like he said, the fella like just looked at Adam, and Adam went, "Who you talking to?" Like that to the.
And then I said to all of them, I was like, "Who are you talking about now?"
Who you talking about? You're
I
looking
was-
at me. You're talking about me, and you whispered into him, and I went. I was going to help Adam and like try and suppose like he doesn't need a kneel. he's clearly.
I'm shaking now because I feel
I
ashamed.
know. I was like I
My
find it
anger.
frustrating, but then. So you said your piece, and the lads went, no.
He just shut up.
Just shut up. He didn't fucking say anything.
And I'm sure they left.
And then I
or
went,
did we leave because there was no seats or something?
I think you went, I'm out, I'm going. But you went,
Yeah.
In the Costa, that's fucking booming. Everyone's got like Christmas bags and all the rest, and you went,
Proper sassy bands from day
But that shows like Adam's metamorphosis into something that's like,
love that word.
like, you want to start something, I'll go for it, but I'll also throw my bag at you at the same time. Like, he just doesn't fuck about. And again, that's the Scouse trait, the confidence you built up, the resilience that you brought, resilience that you've developed. Because there's always going to be that critical person in the room, isn't it? That was only maybe about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago, but I thought it'd be good to finish on that story. So thank you, Adam.
So the moral of the story is, guys,
don't fuck with him.
just watch your mouth when you're around me.
Yeah, because he will make you look like a knobhead in Costa.
And I can be the nicest person, but guys, I'm a Scorpio, so there's a sting in the tail. Peace, bitches.
Thank you, Adam, for coming to do the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Loved it.
More podcasts coming soon. See you later.